This is Project Mystery Mould, where I let the mixing cup of fate decide what our next project is going to be. Every time I get a new haul of moulds, I get them on a piece of paper and put them in the mixing cup of fate. Then we'll stir them up and pour one out to find out what our next project will be. And today's project is the turtle. I am super excited about today's project because if you've been following me for a while, you know that I do painting, and I had this turtle mold earmarked to be inspired by this painting that I've done. Her name is Gertrude. So the color palette that we're using is taken from Gertrude, who is a sea turtle. And before we do any kind of pouring, we are just UV resining certain stones where we want them. I've got obsidian for her eyes. I've got some pearl stones for some details on her shell. I'm going around now here with some tiger's eye, trying to get them onto the shell as well. I'm placing everything where I want it, and then we pour with a deep pour resin. I've let that deep pour resin set for a little while, and now I'm going in with some of those beta gems, which are just another version of aquarium gravel, and I'm placing those in the fins and the head. I am setting them as much as I can with some of that deep pour resin, and then just making sure that they're flat. And then I am putting a whole nother layer of resin because I wanted it to be a little bit darker on the bottom. So I'm adding some bronze alcohol ink and some gold alcohol ink to try and get it a little bit darker. I really liked the little pattern that was forming there, but it just wasn't dark enough for me. So I went and got some glitter. Now, glitter is my good old faithful. I will always use glitter. I love glitter, and glitter seemed to do the trick here too. So I just used bronze and gold glitter again, so similar color theme. Just poured that all over the top and then swooshed some into the beginning of those arms and legs from the shell, and put Gertrude aside for a couple of days to rest. It is time to demold Ms. Gertrude, and I was so excited to get to this point. Look how beautiful she turned out. I could not believe how well everything stayed in place. From the shells on her back to her eyes, everything stayed put the whole time. She is gorgeous. This mold is, of course, from harryandwilma.com.au, and it was a pleasure to work with. Checking over the shell revealed that in some spots, some of the UV resin had kind of washed away and left big gaping holes. There were also a few air bubbles that needed to be filled in, and so I'll go through and fix all of those areas up with some UV resin or a flood coat. But for now, just enjoy some close-ups of Ms. Gertrude.